Jill, coming to you from the Homestead kitchen today. I am working with Lardo today, and I know as we've taught people how to make it and talked to people, one of the questions is, how do you use Lardo? What do you do after it's been in the salt? So this is a piece that I pulled out of the salt today. It's got the skin on, all salty. I have not brushed any of the salt off. I'm going to leave it all on, just like that, until I'm ready to use it. As I use it, I just take it off the skin, cut off that crusty, salted edge, and it's good to go. I have kept this packed in salt, totally in a dark place, so it doesn't have any oxidization on the outside edges just yet. It's all nice and clear. As it sits, and I'm going to hang this, now that I've taken it out of the salt, I'm going to hang it in my kitchen so it's out where I see it and I remember to use it. It'll get some yellow on the outside of it, and that's just where the sun has hit it and it's oxidized, the oxygen. Tastes awful, absolutely awful. So I'm just going to cut it off at that point and discard it, give it to the pigs or the dogs or the chickens or whoever the bowl is going to for the day, and use the nice creamy white inside. Let's take a look at what is inside of this lardo. To use this piece of lardo, I am going to take it off the skin or the rind. The rind is really useful for protecting it, giving it some form, and adding a little extra flavor. If you have backfat that doesn't have the rind on it, that's okay. You can still make lardo, no worries. So I took it off the rind. I'm going to take a piece off. You can see what's in there. It's nice creamy fat. It's got a little bit of pink in it, which is beautiful. I'm going to dust the salt off. This will be fine just like this. What I'm going to do is put a little hole in the rind, and I'll put a string through it, and then I'll just hang this in the kitchen. It is perfectly shelf stable at this point. Flies won't touch it. Nothing's going to hurt it. It's not going to spoil. It's not going to go bad. It's all good at this point. That was the purpose of this preservation technique, was to preserve fat for cooking so that people would have good stuff to use and it wouldn't go bad. And it works like a charm. You can smoke this. Some cultures, that's what they do. Now that we have a smoker, I may try some of that. Really super cold smoke. A little smoke on it, and then it's good to go. That'll help prevent some of that oxidization on the outside, but of course you'll still cut it off, but it's okay. So now this is ready to just hang up and hang out in the kitchen, so I remember to use it and can use it. This piece here, I'm going to cut these salty edges off. So that it's just clear underneath. This piece had some paprika on it. That's what the orange is. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Oxidized stuff looks yellow. You don't want any yellow on your piece. It tastes so bad. It'll ruin it in your mouth. But this orange is okay. So now I took off the crusty edges. Ways to use lardo. One of the favorites around here is to slice it paper thin like that and just eat it. It melts in your mouth. It's so good. You can cut it like that, lay it on bread and put it under the broiler, and that is a treat because the bread soaks up all that fat. The lardo will get a little bit crispy. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. The most common way that I use lardo is as fat in my pan. The lardo will render out so that there's a lot of fat, but these pieces will get crispy like bacon because it's just salty fat. So it's like bacon fat is what you end up with. If you can think of places where bacon fat would taste good, you know exactly where lardo will taste good. I use it in roast veggies. I'll put it in the pan and then put the pan in the oven, let it set and render out a little bit, then add my vegetables. And then as you stir it, it'll continue to render and cook, and it makes a nice addition to roast veggies for a little protein and really good fat. I'm going to show you how I put it in the frying pan, and then you end up with fat to cook your meat, your eggs, whatever, plus the little tiny pieces of fat that make it so yummy and good. You could throw this, saute it out just a little bit with some onion and garlic and put it in baked beans. That's a nice addition to your baked beans, give you a little extra flavor. Lots of options there. I'm going to show you how it looks in the frying pan. You could see how they turned glassy and then they started to brown, and you got all that good, yummy, yummy fat in the pan. Good fat is essential for your health. And this fat, despite what they tell you about animal fat, is really good for your body. It's a high quality fat. This will tolerate a lot of heat without going rancid and changing, which has bad effects on your body. That's why you don't cook with olive oil. It's great for salads, not for cooking. Butter, lard, tallow, sesame oil, but especially the animal fats are really good for your body because they're compatible. You're an animal and your body knows what to do with that fat. So this lardo has a lot of uses. It's a good shelf-stable fat, from eating it plain, making a bread treat with it, cooking with it, using it in all sorts of your meats and your vegetables, any place that you would use bacon fat and bacon, because that's essentially what it is. It's salted and cured, plain old fat. Good for you, good to eat, good tasting. I want to add, you can see how thick this is. This came off a Mangalitsa pig. There are not many pigs out there that'll put that much fat on. The heritage breeds are more likely to, because historically pigs were raised in part for their fat. They contributed a lot to the cookery of the homestead kitchen because they had a lot of fat, and that's what the cooks would use. So the other thing to know about that fat is that that pig has not had corn and soy. Corn and soy make oil. So when the pig eats it, its body turns it into oil and you end up with oily fat. Corn and soy are not as stable and they will tend to go rancid faster. So the fat from pigs that have been fed a lot of corn and soy, also known as hog chow, will not have as high a quality fat as an animal that's been fed small grains, forage, things like that give it natural tannins and don't make for oily fat. So good quality fat from animals that have been fed well, so that you have fat that's nutrient dense and won't go rancid on you, is essential for your health. And knowing how to use it, gave you a few ideas here. If you have questions, put them down in the comments and we'll get you cooking with good fat. Have a great and abundant day.